So if you think of a massive AI data center as the brain, what's its nervous system? Well, it's the huge, super fast network that carries every single signal, every chunk of data, every command. Today, we're going to dive into the absolutely critical role telecommunications play in powering large-scale AI. We're talking about what it really takes to build a network for a super intelligence. Now, just to set the stage, this is part 4 of a big 15-part tutorial. It's all based on a fantastic report called Building Large-Scale AI Data Centers, a comprehensive technical guide, put together by Virtualization Options LLC. In this series, we're basically breaking down the key points from each chapter, and today we're hitting the highlights from Chapter 4, Telecommunications. You know, the report kicks off with this perfect metaphor. The network isn't just a bunch of pipes, it's the nervous system. It's what lets the data center sense and ingest information, coordinate all of its actions, and basically to think on a scale we've never seen before. So what in the world does a nervous system for an artificial superbrain actually look like? Well, the first thing you have to understand is that it represents a quantum leap in connectivity. The demands of AI are just so huge that they completely change the definition of what a fast network even is. I mean, just look at the difference in scale here. We're not talking about a little upgrade. Your standard data center, they think in gigabits per second. For AI, that's barely a rounding error. We're measuring traffic in terabits per second. That's 1,000 times more. It's truly the difference between a garden hose and a raging river. So why this insane appetite for bandwidth? Well, think about what this nervous system actually has to do. It's constantly ingesting colossal training data sets. That's the sensory input. It's distributing model checkpoints all the time, which is kind of like saving the AI's memory. It's coordinating training across maybe half a dozen different data centers at once, like different lobes of a brain, all working in concert. And of course, it lets the humans in charge keep an eye on things. Okay, so let's break down the anatomy of this thing. To handle that kind of terabyte-scale traffic, you need a very specific set of core components, and each one plays a super important role. The whole thing is built on a foundation of high-speed fiber. These are your main nerve pathways. Then you have to build in resilience with something called carrier diversity. We'll get to that in a sec. You have to be absolutely obsessed with optimizing latency because, believe it or not, the speed of light becomes a real bottleneck. And finally, you plug this entire system directly into the internet's main backbone. It's superhighways. So what is carrier diversity? Honestly, it's a beautifully simple but really powerful idea. You just don't rely on one company for your connection to the world. You use several. It's the network version of not putting all your eggs in one basket. If one carrier has an outage, someone cuts a fiber line, anything, the data just instantly reroutes through the others. The nervous system has its own built-in backup pathways, making sure the signals always get through. Now, I know this all might sound a little abstract, so let's look at a real-world example of what might be one of the most advanced AI nervous systems on the planet, Google's B4 network. B4 is Google's own private global network that links all of its data centers together. It's what's called a software-defined network, or SDN, which basically means it's incredibly intelligent. It can look at all the traffic rushing through it and dynamically prioritize whatever is most important. And you can probably guess what's often at the top of that list: AI traffic. And this chart just shows it perfectly. During a big AI training job, B4 will dedicate a mind-boggling 80 to 90% of its entire global capacity just to that one task. Look at this. 85% is for something called AI gradient synchronization. Everything else, and I mean all other traffic between their massive data centers, gets crammed into that tiny 15% slice. It's like the network is holding its breath to focus completely on the AI's thought process. The results of this focus are, well, they're just incredible. They get 99.99% availability. That's less than an hour of downtime in an entire year. And latency, the signal delay, is kept under 50 milliseconds across the globe. That is just blisteringly fast, and it's what lets them do the impossible: run a single massive AI training job across 6 or even 8 different facilities at the same time, as if they were all sitting in the same room. So, seeing what's already possible today, it naturally leads to the next question, right? How do you plan for tomorrow? How do you engineer a network for a field that is growing exponentially? And the crucial point here is that this kind of planning can't be guesswork. When you have billions of dollars of computer hardware on the line, a network bottleneck means that all your incredibly expensive GPUs are just sitting there idle, burning power and wasting money. That's why engineers rely on a really methodical, analytical process. And that process looks something like this. It's like a 5-step playbook for building a future-proof network. First, you analyze all your traffic sources. You can't plan for what you don't measure. Second, you figure out your peak demand, and then you add a huge 30 to 50% buffer on top of that. That headroom isn't a luxury, it's your defense against becoming obsolete overnight. Third, you turn that number into a physical plan by figuring out how many circuits you need. Fourth, you add even more circuits for redundancy because failure is just not an option during a billion-dollar training run. And finally, you spread all those circuits out across at least 3 different carriers. That's your ultimate insurance policy. And if you're wondering why all that headroom and planning is so important, it's because of this number. A working AI facility sees its bandwidth needs go by 40 to 60% every single year. That means your network has to be almost twice as powerful in less than 2 years just to keep up. Conservative planning isn't just a good idea, it's absolutely essential for survival. So let's bring this all together. Building a network for AI is so much more than just a quest for raw speed. It's about careful, methodical engineering. It's about building a system that can take a punch and is ready for the explosive growth that we all know is coming. It's about building a true, resilient, future-proof nervous system. Which, of course, leaves us with one last massive question. The demand we're seeing from AI is unlike anything we've ever seen before, and it's only speeding up. We're building these incredible nervous systems for individual data centers, but what about the connective tissue for the entire planet? Is our global network truly ready for what's coming next? This explainer was based on Chapter 4 of the comprehensive technical guide, Building Large-Scale AI Data Centers, from the team at Virtualization Options LLC. Thanks for tuning in.